my God. What's up guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Frank, and today I got something kind of special for you guys. These are some kind of custom, I don't think you can call them custom, but Iron Man style lightsabers. Obviously I am a fan of Iron Man if you've been on my channel, and I know I'm all about making and 3D printing and kind of building your own stuff, but occasionally, and I'm sure some of you can relate to this, it's sometimes nice to just buy something. I really did try to do my own custom sabers, custom paint jobs, but I got really overwhelmed. And this isn't anything bad on the fandom, it's just a different fandom and hobby than I'm used to. And I just really wanted to buy something. And someone on my Discord knew I was on the hunt for some type of Iron Man style saber and sent me a link to vsaber.com. And this isn't a sponsored video. I bought these with my own money. If you go check them out, whatever, that's totally fine. That's up to you. But these are beautiful. They are metal hilts. They are Neopixel blades. And what do I mean by Neopixel? It means I can change the colors. I love this. It has a slow ignition, so it's an LED strip that's inside the blade that lights up slowly. Now these aren't really meant for dueling. Hold on, let me turn the sounds off. You can ignite them without the sound, which is also pretty cool. But as you can see them kind of flickering and glowing. The camera doesn't do it quite as much justice, but they still do look awesome on camera. You can change the colors, you can change the sounds, you can change the fonts. They do a bunch of other stuff too. You can do like little force clashes and stabs and swings. These things are amazing. I love them. We're going to talk about the difference between Neopixel and the polycarbonate blades that use the Cree LEDs and some stuff I learned through this. So let's, I want to take these apart and show you guys the internals of them because this did inspire me to make my own lightsaber based off of, well, it's the dark saber, but we'll get to that later. Let's take a look. The overall hilt design is pretty basic, and I'm sure some of you watching this can be like, oh, you can buy those parts and build it yourself. I get that. That's not the point of this video. The point of the video is just show you what I bought, and I know you can build your own, but I didn't really want to. These are the guts of the saber right here, and it's made up of some pretty simplistic parts. There's a little control board, and I believe this is a Profi 2 or a Profi V2. I'm gonna get some names wrong, guys, so please don't crucify me over it, but for the most part, I know it's a Profi board. There's a speaker down here at the bottom. There's a really big lithium-ion battery, I believe this is. I'm not positive what kind of battery this is. The parts are from Saber Studio. Like, this whole assembly is from Saber Studio. He's just basically a reseller who's building them and outsourcing them and charging for his time, which is totally fine. You have your charging port and the little button. To get it out, you need to like recess it down there. This is the connector port for the Neopixel blade. These are pogo pins, so when you push them in, they kind of recess. They connect up to the back of the Neopixel blade. Now there's obviously rings here to determine where those pins go. Unlike the sabers that use a one bright LED. Now this is a Cree LED or a tri-Cree LED. I'm not exactly positive which one this is. And then this just projects light into the bottom of the saber like a flashlight. And I'm actually working on my own custom dark saber. That's why I went on Etsy and ordered a little lightsaber parts kit. Gives you a bunch of wires, gives you the battery, gives you the board, the charging port, the button, and the speaker. So that's all of the parts you can do by yourself. This comes pre-assembled. Obviously, I just bought it like this. So pretty easy to do. There is an SD card. If I take this battery out on the other side of this board, there is an SD card to flash it with, but there's also a little USB port to plug it in. You can change the sounds and fonts. They're called fonts. The sound font, that's whose saber, whose name it is, what it says, what it sounds like, what color it is. You can change so much of it. I'm still trying to figure out really how to do it. There's cool websites and documentation for it. I'll also include a link down below of a good Reddit post I found for building and buying your own lightsabers and the websites to use and some websites not to use. V-Saber really did hook me up on this one. So I ordered this first one, the one with the gold bottom, and it came pretty normal. Came with a charger, came with a cool little card to give you all the instructions and all of that with it. A little charge, very basic. Then I realized, oh, I want a second one, thanks to a friend who was like, why don't you get a double-sided lightsaber? So that's exactly what I did. I bought a second one. I ordered a coupler so I can screw them together. Again, I'll show you that later. And now I have two Neopixel sabers. So pretty easy design. What's cool about these saber parts is in the community, they're all kind of standardized sizes. I can take all of this apart, screw it all together, mix and match it, and that's pretty similar with other sabers I can buy. The fittings and the dimensionality all seems to be pretty uniform at this point, so you can really customize this stuff and do whatever you want. But again, this was pretty simple for me to do. The only complaint I have is the connection system with these little set screws. It does scratch the paint. So if I'm not careful, I'm slowly going to continue to drag this down, and eventually the this little crossguard hilt thing, whatever, won't cover all the damage. That's my only quarrel. But besides that, for the price, under $300 for a full Neopixel metal blade, from what I've seen, is pretty awesome. To connect the two together, all I have to do is unscrew the pommels at the bottom. I do plan to paint this, maybe try to match this red or the gold. The black is a little overbearing, maybe even a silver and match the buttons, but we'll get to that when it's an actual problem. Now, I don't know if this is the case with all the little connector bits, but it doesn't line the sabers up quite perfectly, which I'm okay with because as I'm holding it naturally, it does fit in my hands better, so I can turn both blades on at the same time. So I do think that's absolutely awesome, and I'm very much a fan of these dual blades. It does muffle the sound quite a bit now because the speakers are directly aiming at each other, but that's what the holes inside of there are for. I can't spin it around in here. This room isn't big enough. I keep hitting my lampshade anyway, but it is pretty cool. And I'm gonna be honest, it looks pretty cool next to the Iron-Mandalorian helmet. Now, I know what some of you are probably already thinking as well, how don't you have an arc reactor sound in there yet? I am working on that. I'm trying to figure out how to add the profiles and the sound fonts, because it really would be really cool to have the arc reactor charge up noise and then the repulsor noises when it clashes. I am working on that, so stay tuned. And I'm sure some of you want to see me holding the sabers in the suit, because why wouldn't I do that? So here's a quick little clip.
You look like a Star Wars fan, no offense.
I think one of my other favorite features, and I know this is a selectable option once you start reprogramming them, but you can have the blades enter color change mode, which lets you do this. So now, depending on how I spin them, they'll change colors, and you can kind of capitalize on this as you swing them and move them through and play with them and get this whole crazy RGB effect going, which I am very much a fan of, especially when I have the Infinity Gauntlet on with the suit. So I know there's a way to activate this and add a font that just constantly does this and pulses different colors, but activating the color change mode is a quick little cheap way to do this. You just kind of have to spin them around and play with them a lot more. There really isn't too much to this video, guys. I just wanted to show these off. A lot of people were asking where I got them, if I made them, and I haven't said to anybody that I've made these. I bought these because, again, sometimes it's nice to just do things like this, and I wanted to show them off. So they're really cool. Again, vsaber.com or whatever website you want to go to. The Neopixel blades, from what I've read, you shouldn't really duel with them or clash with them. You can do light sparring and, you know, for videos and just playing around. But if you really want to get into saber combat, look into the polycarbonate blades. Those use the LEDs, and you can really go to town with those ones. If you guys haven't already, if you could consider subscribing, that would really help the channel out. I do have a lot more nerdy things planned. I'm running out of things to teach you guys because I've given you all my secrets. So cool videos like this might be more in the future. If you have any questions about anything you saw, please leave a comment or message me on Instagram or join the Discord, because it's free and it has a lot of good information on it. At the end of the day, it's a little hard to explain to people what it's like holding one of these lightsabers. Once you actually get one of the metal ones in your hand, it's just a really cool feeling it's really hard to explain. Like always, guys, I really appreciate you all watching, and you have a good day.